Hello and welcome to a lightning presentation of BimlSnap. BimlSnap is a website to help you quickly build SSIS packages. For this to work, you'll need a copy of the BimlExpress add-in for Visual Studio. This add-in is available from Verigence.com. It is free and it works with Visual Studio 2013, 2015, and soon 2017. To get started with BimlSnap, simply register as a new user and reply to the email that you'll receive to confirm your email address. Once you've done that, you can log in and then you'll see this screen. For anyone who uses SSIS, you'll recognize connections, parameters, packages, and environments. What's new would be the Biml build, which is actually the XML file containing all of your project and package and connection definitions that you would place into Visual Studio. So let's get started with building our first project. To begin, click on the Open Projects button, enter a project name, choose a template. In this case, I'm choosing the No Frameworks template, more on that later, and then choose a package protection level. At that point, click on Save, and you have created a project. Since you'll also need the project in Visual Studio, we'll click on New Project, give it the same name, and choose Create. Since we will not be using the default package provided, we'll go ahead and delete that. And in addition, since we're using Biml, we use BimlExpress to add a Biml file. Before we start building connections, parameters, and packages, let me quickly illustrate the goal of this project, which is called SnapMart Refresh. You can see we have a database. It's called SnapMart. This is a data mart for our SQL Server data. It's our metadata. The source will be the SQL Server itself, in this case called localhost, that we will be extracting metadata from. And we will first populate this table, which is called dim database, using the staging schema. So I'm going to need two connections from BimlSnap, project control. I'll choose data connections. This is an OLADB connection, and then choose open data connections. From here, I'll create my first connection, which is simply going to be called SQL Server. Provide a server name and the database name, which can be master in this case, along with the provider. We'll just default to the standard most recent provider, and choose Save. Now I'll need a second connection, which is our SnapMart database. This is also on localhost. And the database name will be of the very same name as our connection name. And choose Save. Now we've got two connections defined. A quick note about data connections in project and data connections available. Since we created both of these in the context of this particular project, it automatically added them from our repository of data connections into this particular project. So this is a nice feature when you consider many projects where you may share some of these connections and may not share others. It gives you a consistent repository for the definition of your connections. If we go over to parameters, we can see a similar thing has happened. It has automatically created parameters for us and has placed it into the project. Now don't worry about the first four that you see here. These are used with other templates, but you will notice for both SnapMart and SQL Server, 3 parameters were created for you. These parameters will help you when you would like to run your particular packages and projects in a different environment, and you can now drive it by parameters. These are all created for you. After the build, these very same connections and project parameters will be auto-populated into your SSIS project. Next, we'll want to build our first package. In order to do that, click on the Packages tab, and from here you'll choose to create a new package. There are several packages to choose from. All of these are tied to a particular pattern. So what you really do is just configure a pattern, and the package is created for you automatically. In this case, we would like to create a data flow pattern. Notice that the package name will be built for you. You can have uniqueness based on the package qualifier. The package qualifier will call source to stage. Our connection is going to be SQL Server, and now we just have to add the query. For the query, I am referencing the SIS databases table in SQL Server, and I'm pulling out the name of the database when it was created and adding a data source, which is SQL itself. The important thing to recognize here is the table I'm populating, which is dim database with the stage schema name, that each of the columns are named exactly the same as the table I'm populating. By doing this, you don't have to map individual columns within your SSIS package. This will auto map them for you, providing a tremendous improvement in development time. So I'm going to pick up this query and paste it into my configuration for this data flow. I'll use SnapMart as the destination. I'm going to populate the ETL schema and the table dim database. I will also indicate that I would like to truncate the destination prior to loading, and choose Save. You can see the package has now been created, and the name consists of the pattern name, the package qualifier, and the table that will be populated. To add it into the project, SnapMart Refresh, I just select it, hit the left arrow, and now it places it into the project. The 0 indicates the sequence number. So if there's more than one package, depending on the sequence number you provide, it will run in that order. If it has the same sequence number, it will run in parallel. I'll now move to the next tab, which is BimlSnap Build, and I will go ahead and build this particular project. It will default to the template group I provided, but note I can actually change that to a richer template. This would in fact change or add this functionality to all packages that are in the project. I now can also change the protection level. I'll go ahead and build the project. And you can see at the bottom, now I have the BimlSnap for this particular project, along with the parameters that were auto-created for this project. I'll go back to the packages and notice as part of the build, another package was created. This is a RunAll package that gets created automatically and will include all of the packages that are in the project. To use it, I just have to select it and move it over. Notice it has a -1. You don't really sequence the RunAll. The RunAll will run automatically as its own package, which would then call in turn all the other packages within the project. To include this RunAll package, I'll go back over to Build, we'll build again, and now I've actually got completed BimlSnap, including a RunAll package that I can now move into Visual Studio. I'll start with the parameters, select all. Notice I could download locally, but I'll just put it on my clipboard and then move to Visual Studio. I'll go to the project parameters and view code, and I'll paste it in. Once I save it, you can see that all of the parameters have been created for the database, the server, the provider name. And again, if you use extended framework features, you've got emails and rerunability, which we'll discuss more later. Next, we'll pick up the BimL and just use a clipboard, copy it, and then paste it into the project inside of the BimL script file. So I'll double click and open the BimL file and then paste it in, save it. Now all I have to do is right click on my BimL file and generate the SSIS packages. The expansion is complete. We can see the connections are there and the packages are there. Now I can double click on the RunAll program, choose Start, and it will run the one and only other package that's in the project. And we've gone full circle with this lightning tour of BimlSnap. There's a lot more features that we'll cover in subsequent videos, but if you like what you see, take a look at BimlSnap.net/BimlSnap. Create an account and get started. If you have any questions, email us at info@bitracks.com. Thank you.